Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high level game of StarCraft 2. Today we have perhaps the greatest PvT player in the world against one of the best PvP players in the world, ByuN's versus Zoun. Now, in my opinion, Zoun is a Protoss player that, when it comes to standard Terran versus Protoss, might actually currently be the best. I think he might be better than Trap. I think Hero doesn't play quite as standard as he does. I'm not sure if Hero is even better than him. Zoun just looks so darn solid when he plays. He's opening up here with a quick scout in his own natural, making sure that he's not being blocked. Very little gas mining. They're talking an awful lot, both of these guys. It seems that a lot of the Koreans find ByuN's very funny. ByuN types a lot in his games, and I often see this one, which means ha 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 ha. And I just noticed that this is a common thing in ByuN's games. He's cracking jokes the entire time while destroying these fools with his 3 Rex plays, because that is what ByuN likes to do in this matchup. He loves opening up with 3 barracks, moving across the map with a bunch of marines, stimming in and killing you. Now we do see Zoun coming in for the scout here. Does see that it's a marine first. Does not see that there was a reactor kind of accompanying that marine. As is important information. Could have been a factory before that reactor. Does not quite get that read right now though. This adept will have to go and figure that out by himself. So Zoun right now is also typing some words. God, I wish I could speak Korean so I could live translate this. Sadly, that's not quite the case yet. But yeah, life is life. Alright. What do we have here for ByuN? Factory follow-up is something he doesn't play very often. Like I said, 3 Rex, triple CC. These are his preferred openers. We do have a Stargate coming out of Zoun though. He's shading his first adept across the map as well. Stargate was pretty fast. Warp gate goes down. And we'll have to wait and see what this Stargate is going to bring. It could be an Oracle. But I'm kind of feeling Phoenixes here. His initial gas mining was very little. And if you want to open up with Oracle, often you need a lot of gas, because the transitions out of Oracle often involve a Twilight Council, and in order to get that Twilight Council in a timely fashion, you'll need a lot of gas, otherwise you're just going to be stuck on practically crap units. Second gate going down as well, so this feels like either Oracle into Phoenix or just straight Phoenix. I really would be extremely surprised if this is Oracle into Twilight Council. There will be some Phoenixes, maybe we'll get a Twilight Council for charge, but most likely it will not be for Blink Stalkers, which is one of my favorite build orders, this Oracle into Blink Stalkers. I'm kind of sad that we don't get to see it. Zest played this a lot during the latest GSL Super Tournament. Oh my god, he's actually playing it. I'm very surprised. I actually am very surprised. And the main reason for my surprise here is that this Twilight Council, because of his mediocre gas mining in the early game, is a solid 20 seconds later than it perhaps should have been, or maybe 6-7 seconds later. Usually this goes down at 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and now it went down, oh, it actually went down at like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Something like that. So yeah, a solid 10 seconds too late. This means your blink is going to be delayed, but more importantly, it also means that your charge is going to... Wait, he's straight going into charge. Okay, now I'm kind of lost. This makes more sense in that if your Twilight is this late, that... Ooh, that's a good attempt, but didn't quite work out. Both of them are laughing about that attempt. Now, let me finish my sentences before speaking the entire time and doing stuff. Okay, here we go. So the main reason why this is kind of uncommon is because when you play charge build orders, the thing that is the most important is that you have a lot of money and that you can produce a lot of units. Like this charge is always going to finish before the initial move out. There's not going to be a single move out that will attack you before charge finishes with any type of opener. So seeing a delayed third base in order to rush out charge faster is kind of odd. Perhaps he doesn't want to chrono it, but even without chronos, if this Twilight would have been 30 seconds later, that would not have much of an issue. And yeah, I just think that the later third base, it's an interesting decision that I don't quite understand. So we'll have to wait and see what his actual plans are, what his follow-ups are going to be. Maybe we can get like more of a read into why he does this. It's obvious to me that Zoun is a fantastic player, and everything he does has a reason for it. So I could just say, well, I don't understand it, and because of that it must suck. But Zoun is, well, in my mind, the greatest TVP player currently. So he probably has a good reason for that fast charge. Maybe there are some builds with like a fast second barracks. I know ByuN used to like doing tank pushes with just pure stim, no combat shield. And those can hit a little bit earlier. Perhaps it's something to fight those. Because, well, let's face it, charge being done at 5 minutes and 50 seconds does not really provide any extra value. It just gives you less economy because your third is delayed. Of course, it does have that full saturation right now on this base. Goes into 4 gases, 2 extra in the natural. 3 more gates are on the way, which will bring the total up to 8 as well. And we should see a couple of these warping rounds starting pretty quickly, as the first push out is kind of inevitable. There is a Raven here, as this SCV gets lifted. There's 3 Phoenixes out currently as well. They might want to try to get that Raven, but so far not quite capable of getting it. Is ByuN aware? Oh my god. I was gonna say, what has ByuN scouted so far? And so far ByuN has scouted that there is a ramp here, and that's it. He's completely blind. He might believe that there is a Colossi follow-up, but it's going to be charged. So this Raven is still, of course, going to be nice, but it's not going to be as game or life-changing as it would be against Colossi. We now see the scan. Sees the complete lack of an army here. Oh, look at this setup here. Zoun is coming in from a big angle, couple of lifts on these Phoenixes, gets one of the mines. ByuN starts kiting up towards his third base ramp, and well, these Zealots are falling quickly. Super Battery gets activated, but also gets taken down immediately. I think Zoun will be capable of cleaning this up, and with that, he takes a massive lead in this game right now with the upgrade already done. This was not a pure gateway army without upgrades, which is something we sometimes see. No, this was an army that is upgraded with a robotics facility already done. A second robo on the way, Roboway on the way. This was a marvelous hold here out of Zoun, and yeah, ByuN's just in a world of trouble right now. Going to get the third base. We have the double medevacs on the way. Fun fact, of course, is that ByuN knocked out Zoun out of the GSL. In that, what was it, the round of 24 or something like that? The round of 20, maybe it was actually. Half the people advanced into the round of 10, of course. 2 groups of 5 in the current GSL. Painful loss for ByuN in that group, so he's actually not in the GSL either anymore. Did manage to knock out Zoun when it mattered the most. 5 barracks are done. So barracks 4 and 5 just now start producing. Reactors almost done. So the tech lab also has finished. +1 armor on the way here, and the Ghost Academy is also completed. The work accounting for Zoun is absolutely crazy. The tech is going to be bananas as well. There's good map vision. We have these random pylons kind of sprawl around the map. Turret on the way. I mean, ByuN is in an awful position. Like, there's really no 2 ways around it. It's garbage. He has a high medevac count, and in the hands of someone like ByuN, who's known to like his drops, who's known to like his multitasking, that could be dangerous. But there's also Phoenixes out already. Blink is on the way. Once these Colossi hit the field, I am having trouble seeing how ByuN will kind of get out of this situation. How can he get into a game where he can be in a little bit of control? He doesn't have concussive shells, does he? Oh, he does. Sometimes it feels like the charge loss don't actually get slower. Probably just wasn't paying attention properly. Battery cannon on this fourth base. Templar archives as well. So this kind of indicates that Zoun wants to be going for an aggressive move here rather than just sitting back. This provides a problem for ByuN, but also an opportunity. Because this means that if ByuN holds the attack that is inevitably coming with these Archons, that he could maybe try and get back some map control. While if Zoun would have gone into a heavy Blink Stalker army with Disruptors as well, it is a lot harder for ByuN to get back into the game, but it also means that ByuN gets to survive. So Zoun would keep control 100% of the time because his army is just going to skill so well into a longer late game, but ByuN also would not die immediately, and thus you need to play out a longer game. And Zoun here is picking the aggressive option. Whenever you see Archons being warped in, being morphed, and a high Zealot count, you know that the Protoss wants to be aggressive, because Zealots are a unit that once the Terran hits max, just aren't going to be as useful anymore. So the more Zealots in an army, the more all-in it tends to be. And this is, well, 27 Zealot army right now. It's It's a lot of zealots. It really is a lot of zealots. We have a bunch of these over here as well. 33 zealots total currently. So he's going to run these in towards the natural, while he will be attacking the third base. And if ByuN holds this, he might actually get some momentum on his side. He might actually be capable of counterattacking, but he will need to hold this first. And that could be kind of tricky. Zealots need to start moving soon as well here. Zoun need to really start doing something, because this army is losing its value pretty quickly. Big EMPs hitting as well. Here come the zealots running towards the natural. Let's see how quick ByuN is with these responses. Need to lift the depot, needs to lift the depot, needs to lift the depot. As the zealots get into the main, get into the natural. Well, not in the main yet. Depot lift towards the main is quick enough. Zealots are actually going to fall here, and this position also gets held. Honestly, not a bad hold out of ByuN. ByuN is getting a fort base right now. Continuing his upgrades as well. Will be up 1 upgrade, I believe, in a little bit once his 2-2 finishes. Ends up losing 8 workers. And right now, Zoun is like, oh, well, I'll actually need to transition into disruptors. He still has a lot of zealots in his army, which are not great. And that means that these zealots need to kind of die at some point, but in a natural way. You can't just throw away 30 zealots and pretend like that didn't just cost 3k minerals. No, you need to slowly but surely kind of get rid of them and start transitioning into a more stalker heavy army. We already see these stalkers being added. Of course, with the ghost, archons and zealots just aren't as great, as the EMP deals with them well, pretty darn well. Prism is empty. There's no turrets in the main base though, so if the prism ever were to hit the main base, ByuN could be in a little bit of trouble. Zoun still has the map control, still feels like he has the right to be on the map. ByuN has split his army up in 2 parts. He's not quite aware of where this was. He's going to get caught a little bit out of position. And now starts moving with this big army over towards the top watchtower. 2-2 is done as well for him. Ship weapons level 2 on the way as well. This is a position that looks pretty playable for ByuN. I'm not saying he's ahead. I'm just saying that for the first time in a long time, he can start moving on the map. And I did not think that was going to be possible for quite a while, honestly. Disruptor count is growing as well, and that will make life difficult. But we're still stuck with 28 zealots at this point. He needs to get rid of these zealots. He really does need to get rid of these zealots. And I'm not entirely sure what a graceful way would be to do that. He's going to just try and send some in towards the natural, at the same time sending in this prism, but there's actually no warp in space available. He's currently maxed, so he can't really do anything. Now, these zealots are just going to be dying for free, so Zoun is finding a decent way to get rid of some zealots at least. He's already transitioning into Tempest, and Zoun is a huge fan of this. He loves his Tempest armies. Creator is one of the players that's also been playing a lot of late game, but still with more carriers, faster storm. And Zoun is the god of the Tempest. Likes to get these honestly kind of small main armies, often with slightly higher worker counts as well, to just get out like 6-7 Tempest. Very tricky to micro and easy to die as well. But his control is good enough, so he can make it happen. Sounds feeling pretty aggressive here. I'm not sure if he can. This is an army that doesn't have a lot of natural synergy. Splits so far out of ByuN are not brilliant. Does get 2-3 disruptors here. The reason why this army does not really have a lot of natural synergy is because these zealots will just be walking into your own disruptor shots. With zealots you want to charge into an army, while disruptors get better over time. If you have 6-7 disruptors, you can continuously be throwing disruptor balls at your opponent without really risking it all. Stalkers obviously have great synergy with that, because they also are a range attack. That's a huge disruptor shot, connecting with a big chunk of the army here. 14 Vikings are out already. There are some turrets now in the main base. +3 attack is on the way. This stasis ward is being annoying as well. I think ByuN actually needs to save this army. If he does not get to save this army, he might be, well, in a lot of trouble. Disruptor shots could be timed properly here. Look at these Vikings go, though, with the +2 ship weapons, dealing so much damage against this army. Big EMPs hitting here. Zoun needs to be careful. He has an army that, if jumped upon, does not actually have a lot of firepower. This is an army that is extremely good at fighting over a longer time with these Tempests, with these Disruptors, but right now it's gonna get jumped upon. First Disruptor shot will not connect. Second Disruptor shot will not connect. Did both of the Tempests just fall? Yeah, both of them just died. That's the problem here. I really believe we need to start adding either Templar or a higher Stalker count, and it looks like Zoun is opting for Templar right now. These of course also have some great benefit in defending cannon lines, in just kind of moving them around the map, hiding them in random locations, and then getting a big storm on your opponent's army to try and finish the game. Still, too many Zealots in this army for my liking, too many Archons as well, and all of this will just get EMP'd to death by the 9 ghosts that are here. Yeah, look at that. All of these Archons just die. A lot of these Disruptors are going to get sniped as well. Not a single Disruptor shot connect so far. Here comes the first one, but this army is pretty much done. The Vikings were not in the fight. That is actually kind of painful. They could have contributed a lot here. They would have been capable of taking out every single Colossi. I'm not quite sure why the Vikings weren't there. That's just 30 supply that was not participating whatsoever. Right now, ByuN's going in once again. Colossi are going to get taken out. Another big EMP hits, big Disruptor shot though, taking out this entire army basically. ByuN's still in a position where it feels like his army is slightly better, but the size of his army just isn't good right now. He only has 9 Marauders, 8 Marines. It means that his ground force is simply not big enough. We're going to need more ground units. Not a single ghost in this army either. And that means that these Templar possibly could be doing something. Tempests are going to get taken out by the Vikings though. So the air battle has now been won. One of these Marauders will get taken out. There's one more storm here. Oh, so not in time. Oh my god, that was so risky here out of ByuN. But he does get it. One Disruptor gets taken out. Second Disruptor, oh my god, gets split against. Only a single Marine ends up dying there. This control out of ByuN has been so good so far. Except for, well, 1 or 2 big Disruptor shots. And I guess the one time he forgot to use his Vikings. But yeah, I think the units lost step will, will tell us that ByuN has been doing pretty darn well so far this game. He's up 5k with pretty much a pure Bio-Viking Ghost army. He's starting to add in a couple of Liberators, but still lacking that Bio Force. There's a lot of Medevacs here. There's still 5 Vikings as well. Pure Zealot Stalker is blinking in right now. ByuN in a little bit of trouble. Vikings are going to be landing. EMPs are going to connect with these Stalkers. But I'm not so sure if ByuN can actually hold this bottom side base. It's going to get blinkered upon. And the CC will end up falling, as well as 12 extra workers going down. Now, there's a command center here. There's another orbital over here as well. So maybe ByuN can still get the mining going that he needs, but he's on such a low worker count. These ghosts are going to be absolutely vital in his survival. +3 infantry armors finally finishing up. It just feels bad for ByuN here, honestly. It feels like he just needs to get that big army out once. His control has been superior to his opponent, but just hasn't been capable of getting the eco. The massive eco that you really need. I think that the turret range just finished up, didn't it? Yeah. Did. Here come 4 Liberators as well, trying to help out against that prism. Bottom base is mining for Zoun, who's on 6 bases, and that's just the issue here. That Zoun is mining so much. Advanced Ballistic is done though. That's kind of useful. +3 ship weapons as well. You have, what is this upgrade? Is this like the Medevac speed upgrade? I think it is. Mine over here could be taken out by Zoun if he wants to. I don't think he has quite spotted it yet though. There's a lot of DTs as well. 13 DTs. Do not want to be fighting against this army though. They want to be killing planetary, so might want to rotate towards the top side. ByuN needs to play very defensively off of 4 bases for now. DTs should be moving towards this top side. They really should be. Single nuke is out as well. Are we going to be seeing some nuclear harassment? Or at least going to be seeing some advanced ballistics harass, or maybe just a defensive Liberator. Yeah, there we go. I think ByuN might be aware of the fact that there are some Templar or some Dark Templar out right now. This is still a relatively crap army, by the way. If you jump this, you might be fine, and ByuN's army supply is going to keep growing as long as he doesn't lose it, because he still has a lot of capacity for army. That can be big. Now, this DT is not going in yet. It's somewhat surprising to me. This would seem like the perfect opportunity, but Zoun is being very careful, very patient in his DT movement. First carriers are now on the way. He says, hey, like, these Tempests are fun, but it hasn't really been working out for me so far. Let's see if I can get a couple of carriers. 8 Disruptors are out as well. These DTs are still being way too passive, in my opinion. Just way too passive. They should definitely be trying to get something done here, because it's a lot of supply that's not being used in the main army. Right now, Zoun is actually losing some map control. Maybe he wants them to send them in towards the natural, more so than kill a planetary with. No, he's gonna go in towards the planetary, but right now ByuN is already halfway across the map. Actually, ByuN is already across the map. These Liberators are in position. Well, this planetary is not going to die yet. Good SCV repair. Now it finally will fall. This Liberator will be capable of taking out a lot more DTs as well. And with ByuN getting into a pretty decent position with these bad boys as well. I actually think ByuN might be capable of getting a good fight. Lots of EMPs are hitting. Disruptors are not quite connecting with what they want to. ByuN absolutely destroys this fight once again. Takes out a crap ton of DTs as well. And has the bottom base mining. He's actually outmining his opponent currently. Has 30 more army supply. Liberators are in position. Super battery gets activated here. There are no Vikings in this army, which might make it difficult to fight into this. But he's killing a lot of crap right now. He really is killing a lot of crap. There's 10 ghosts in this army. 4 Vikings on the way. Tempest being built as well. I'm not saying that ByuN has done it, but he is in the process of doing it. And that might just be enough. Orbital Command here mining on the bottom side. We're on 4 base versus, well, technically 5 base, but this base isn't really mining yet. Of course, this base also isn't really mining, but neither is this. So we're really working with like 1 base versus 1 base. And we see in the income tab that ByuN is outmining his opponent in minerals because of the mules, because of the fact that this base is almost mined out as well. Like, this honestly feels good for ByuN. There's actually not a single mule on the map. Ooh, Liberator going to siege up. Get some of these disruptors perhaps. Yep, there we go. 2 disruptors gonna get taken out. Good play. Orbital needs to lift here. Of course, with an orbital, you can still start mining from this 3 o'clock as well. There's not that many DTs out anymore. Oh, orbital, orbital, orbital. Lift, lift, lift. ByuN actually has balls of steel. Holy crap, he just sat there. I don't think it's gonna die. A couple of big EMPs hitting these Archons. Archons, of course, not the perfect unit in the late game against this many ghosts. These Tempests might be in some trouble as well. Trying to take out these Liberators. ByuN wants to jump on this army, but there's a lot of Disruptors here. There really is a lot of Disruptors. Not enough Vikings either to truly attack into this. There are only 6. Lib's now moving forward. ByuN, he needs to jump on this, and he wants to jump on this, but it's still so tricky. 1 or 2 big Disruptor hits, and this game could just turn around again in favor of Zoun. I mean, turn around. Zoun technically still is up in income because of that that risky right side base. But once ByuN becomes aware of that, he can just drop it, and that base will be gone. This Disruptor is not going to connect with anything. 2 Disruptors will fall. No, 1 Disruptor will end up falling. Okay, Tempest might have gone down here as well. ByuN is trading extremely well. This observer spots the drop heading out toward the top side. Could see a warp in there as a result, but so far not the case. Now these Libs are going to be taken out by the Tempest, slowly but surely. We see a lot of them already very damaged. Vikings getting in position to snipe one of these Tempests. We'll get 1 big storm hitting as well on the Vikings, big storm hitting on the Liberators as well. 8 Marine drop towards the top side base, and this is an important base because this is one of the remaining... Well, actually, it is the final remaining base that is still mining here for Zoun. Disruptor shots are going to connect. Perhaps these Marauders can get something done here. Oh, that Disruptor will get taken out before it gets the hit. Man, he's so good at judging these fights, freaking ByuN, huh? It's unbelievable. Now, these Marines are gonna get F2'd back home. Couple of splits are good enough for now. Do we have any scans? Yes, we have 1 scan. Marine flank here from the top side as well. Disruptor shots are not quite getting the hits that they need. We only have 3 Disruptors left. Currently all of them on cooldown as well. But this army is pretty battered and bruised. 4 ghosts do remain. Topside base will die. And that means that Zoun is now officially out of money, and it also means that Zoun for the first time actually needs to do something. He needs to win the fight, and he needs to win the fight pretty quickly because he's just getting outmined in a big way right now. There's no new base being constructed for him. As long as this bottom side base is mining for ByuN, ByuN is just winning. He's gonna try and take out one of these Tempests. If he can take out all of the Tempests, this position will be secured because into Liberators Zoun cannot fight. And there's still some DTs out as well, but with plenty of scans, I don't think this should be much of an issue. Blink forward. Oh my god, ByuN not paying attention there. Was really lucky for Zoun because these 4 DTs are an absolute key unit in this battle so far. Well, 1 Tempest is going to fall here for sure, as the final carrier has also died. Disruptor shots are going to semi-connect with some of this army. Another Disruptor is going to get taken out. This Tempest actually is getting pretty low. Stalkers turn around though. How many Tempests do we have left? Just only one. No new Tempest being built. This Disruptor is going to fall as well. There's still a bunch of Templar out though. And they could be useful. Ooh, Archon recalls, not going to be in time. Couple of EMPs. Hello, can we get him? No, we can't. Bottom left side base is being taken right now for Zoun. Scan out of ByuN's, realizing, yep. Okay, what base do you have? Do I need to do anything? The answer is no. Still mining from this right side as well. ByuN's is absolutely destroying his opponent this game. Look at the resources lost or the units lost here. 8k up. Or, well, Zoun is 8k up actually, but being up in the resources lost is not a... It's not usually considered a positive. Look at the storms. Some big storms here on the entire army. I'm not sure if there's enough gateway units though. These disruptor shots need to hit in a big way. That was an F2 move, I think. First disruptor shot is not going to connect. And as a result, I think ByuN's can just push through. Not all of these EMPs hit everything. Single medevac remaining. A lot of these Marines actually dying here. ByuN's perhaps slightly overcommitting. Single Tempest still in the air as well. But ByuN's is mining so much. Now, even though this last fight perhaps wasn't brilliant, I still believe it is enough, right? This army is pretty bruised. It is pretty low in HP. There's only a single medevac as well out, so it can't even be healed properly. If this bottom side base gets denied right now, that would be awful. Here comes the disruptor shot, stim on his entire army. Moves forward with these marauders, with these ghosts, with these marines. Should try and target down this disruptor. No, not necessary, he says. Is there any storms available? Not quite. There's no scan either though, but he will see these Templars right now. I don't think he should really go for a chase here. Not without any ghosts. There is a ghost somewhere in the back. Oh, there's one ghost in the army. Didn't even see that. The EMP is not available. Orbital command is flying towards the top side base. I mean, there's just going to be too many units here for ByuN's. But the trades, well, he needs to be careful. 2 Templar here. Look at this ghost drop. Scan. Using it like it's a Templar in a prism. GG gets called as Zoun actually loses the game. It felt impossible to lose after such an insanely good early game, after a dominant mid game. And yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that ByuN's managed to get this back. Very impressive play. Good job. I'm happy to see it. He's been playing well. Sadly did not make it out of the GSL, of course, but life is life. Happens to the best. Hope to see him again in the GSL season 2. Perform well. Get that top 6. Alright, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.